So good afternoon, everyone. I'll be talking about the Galilei imaging. To start with, we can see how the machines have evolved from a Placido disc to the simple keratometer. These are the basic principles of different corneal topographers. We are going to learn about the Scheimpflug-based Galilei topographer. Other Scheimpflug-based are the Pentacam and the series topographers. The Galilei topographer is based on three principles: the dual Scheimpflug imaging, the Placido topography, and the optical biometry. The Scheimpflug principle states that the object plane, the lens plane, and the image plane are not parallel to each other, but intersect in a common straight line, causing an obliquely tilted object to be seen with maximum possible depth of focus and minimal image distortions. So how does the principle works? It captures slit images from opposite sides and they impinge upon the anterior surface at different angles, resulting in two apparent slit images. It is independent of the inclined surfaces. It has a rotational Scheimpflug camera which takes 50 cross-sectional images from 0 to 180 degrees, analyzing 12,000 data points. It has a static second camera. It accesses the anterior and posterior cornea surface, the anterior chamber depth, and the lens surfaces. There's a 1000 by 1000 pixel charged couple device camera with 475 nanometer wavelength of a blue light emitting diode. Placido topography analyzes 20 monochrome rings of 200 millimeter diameter. The geometric analysis of the reflected shape gives us the steepness or curvature at a given point. The optical biometry measures the central corneal thickness, the anterior chamber depth, the lenticular thickness, the axial length, and helps in IOL planning. What are the advantages of Galilei? Higher accuracy for both elevation and curvatural data of the cornea. It has an eye tracker system based on the iris pattern recognition, high lateral resolution, and short recording time. How do we interpret the Galilei maps? The basic refractive report has 4 standard maps: the anterior axial curvature, the pachymetry map, the anterior elevation, and the posterior elevation. The anterior axial map with 1 diopter scale is easier to use, faster and simpler to count the color steps one by one in 1 diopter increments. Larger steps of 1.5 diopters may mask typical patterns of asymmetry and astigmatism. Vertical or horizontal asymmetries larger than 1.4 diopters are the risk factors. The thinnest pachymetry value in micron and location in XY coordinates relative to the map center are displayed. The location can be overlaid on the map as a circle. The average central corneal thickness is calculated across the central 2 mm zone. Normal maximum peak of the anterior elevation best fit sphere should be less than 10 to 12 microns, and for the posterior, it should be less than 15 to 16 microns. The refractive metrics indices are present in mm and diopters. The anterior instantaneous curvature, the posterior axial curvature, posterior tangential instantaneous curvature, and the mean total corneal power by ray tracing. Let's have a look at the keratoconus indices. So there's the keratoconus probability indices, the inferior superior index, the irregular astigmatism index, the differential sector index, center surround index, asphericity asymmetric index, opposite sector index, percentage probability of keratoconus, total corneal power and standard deviation of corneal power, surface asymmetry index, and the surface regularity index. I have mentioned the abnormal threshold for all the indices. The key indices are the asphericity asymmetric index, which quantifies as the magnitude of difference between the maximum negative best fit toric aspheric reference surface value and maximum positive best fit toric aspheric reference elevation value. The percentage probability of keratoconus is defined as the optimal threshold for detecting keratoconus. The CLMI index, which is the cone location and magnitude index, characterizes the steepest area of the curvature, and the magnitude of the index identifies the difference between the steepest area and the rest of the curvature maps. The keratoconus prediction index are the parameters which are simulated keratometry, DSI, OSI, CSI, SAI, IAI, and percent area is analyzed. This is the asymmetry map showing the keratoconus indices. The CLMI provides a robust index that can detect the presence or absence of a keratoconic pattern in corneal topography maps. The wavefront data is expressed as the sum of Zernike polynomials called as the corneal aberrations. The Galilei computes corneal wavefront data and the higher order aberrations on the basis of corneal elevation profile. The Zernike polynomials expansion represents the root mean square wavefront error. Here we have shown the higher order aberrations increases from normal patients to patients having suspicious topography and more in keratoconus patients. How the corneal irregularity is contributed by higher order aberrations like defocus, coma, and astigmatism. So the powerful ray traced total corneal wavefront, RMS value for a fast estimate of vision and adjustable alignment are few of the advantages. And applications are, it is identifying the most suitable IOL for cataract patients, good overall indicator for the vision of a patient, and adjustable alignment helps in decentralized treatment planning. So let's see the applications. Fast screening, as it has most relevant maps and value in one display. Comprehensive overview of the cornea. As we have seen the wavefront display, it reduces the risk of post-surgery refractive surprises. Powerful ray-traced corneal wavefront, root mean square value for a higher order aberration for a fast estimate of vision, and adjustable alignment. The Santiago PTA report, it simulates the impact of elastic surgery as percent tissue altered and is a significant predictor of post-LASIK ectasia risk and residual corneal thickness. Inputs fields for flap thickness and ablation depth. Comprehensive visualization with an index and graph. It checks measurement alignment on top view and Scheimpflug images, checks for eyelashes or nose shadows on placebo images, and for dry eyes. Fast screening in cataract for normal eyes, measurement of central corneal thickness, anterior chamber depth, lens thickness and axial length, quick and simple overview of standard IOL implantation, and quality check of biometry scans. This is the way we are calculating the IOL. This is the IOL power calculation map. So asymmetric screening of the cornea with the cone location and magnitude, comparison of two measurements of same eye, manual measurements of other features, and customizable map displays are few of the diagnostic applications. Take-home messages, advantages for pre-operative screening of cataract and refractive patients, convenient and less time-consuming, cost-effective, and other uses are wavefront analysis, pachymetry, IOL calculation, and also for planning LASIK surgery.